My dear child. Stop for a moment, because what you are about to hear is not ordinary. Something powerful is moving beneath the surface of your life right now. Something that has been building quietly, patiently, almost invisibly. And if you leave too soon, you may miss the very message that was meant to find you today. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Because something huge is waiting for you. There is a person connected to your destiny in a way that cannot be explained by simple words. Even when distance stood between you, even when silence seemed louder than conversation, even when confusion covered everything like a thick fog, this connection continued to exist. You felt it. They felt it. And now something is changing. Not tomorrow. Not someday. Now. What makes this moment different is that your soulmate is no longer running from their feelings. They are no longer pretending that what they feel can simply disappear. They are no longer convincing themselves that life would be easier if they ignored the connection. Because the truth has finally become too powerful to ignore. For a long time they tried to explain away the signs. They tried to tell themselves it was coincidence. They tried to convince themselves that the thoughts they kept having about you meant nothing. But every attempt failed. Every distraction failed. Every excuse failed. Because no matter where they went, no matter what they did, something always brought them back to you. And recently, something happened. A moment. A realization. A quiet awakening. The kind of moment that changes everything. At first they didn't understand why their heart suddenly became so restless. Why your energy seemed impossible to escape. Why memories they thought were buried started returning stronger than ever. But little by little, the truth revealed itself. They are ready. Ready to choose you. Ready to stop fighting. Ready to stop hiding. Ready to imagine a future that includes you completely. Yet there is one condition. One condition that changes everything. And before I reveal it, you need to understand why it matters. Because this condition is not about perfection. It is not about appearance. It is not about money. It is not about status. It is not about becoming someone else. It is something far deeper. Something far more important. Something that many people overlook. Something that determines whether a connection becomes permanent or remains only a dream. Stay with me. The revelation is closer than you think. There were nights when your soulmate sat alone with thoughts they never shared. Moments when they questioned themselves. Moments when they wondered whether they deserved the kind of love they secretly wanted. Moments when fear whispered louder than hope. And every time they imagined stepping fully toward you, another voice appeared. A voice asking difficult questions. What if it doesn't work? What if they get hurt? What if they give everything and lose everything? What if this connection is real? That last question frightened them most. Not because they doubted you. Because they doubted themselves. You see, people often think commitment becomes difficult when feelings are weak. But sometimes commitment becomes difficult because feelings are too strong. When someone feels something deeply, they suddenly have something valuable to lose. And that fear can create hesitation. That fear can create delays. That fear can create silence. But silence does not mean absence of love. Sometimes silence is evidence of how much. A strange realization has been growing inside your soulmate, and the deeper it grows, the harder it becomes for them to ignore what their heart has been trying to tell them all along. What happened recently was not dramatic on the outside, but inside them it felt like an earthquake. A simple moment, a passing thought, a memory that arrived without warning. Yet that single moment changed everything. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. They were going about their day as usual when suddenly they imagined a future. Not a fantasy. Not a dream. A real future. And for some reason, every version of that future included you. At first they pushed the thought away. They told themselves they were overthinking. They told themselves it meant nothing. But the thought kept returning. Again. And again. And again. Until they could no longer pretend it was random. The truth was becoming impossible to escape. They started noticing how different life felt whenever you entered their mind. The noise around them seemed quieter. The confusion seemed smaller. The future seemed clearer. And that frightened them because clarity is powerful. Clarity demands decisions. Clarity forces action. Clarity leaves no room for endless delays. Your soulmate has spent a long time standing between two worlds. One world was comfortable because it required nothing. The other world was uncertain because it required courage. And now they are standing at the crossroads between those worlds. They know they cannot remain there forever. They know a choice is approaching. They know their heart has already started moving toward an answer. Stay till the end because what happened next shocked even them. One evening they found themselves remembering things about you that most people would never notice. Small details. Small moments. Small conversations. Things that should have been forgotten long ago. Yet those memories remained. Not only remained, but grew stronger. That is when they realized something unusual. People do not carry memories like that unless someone has touched their heart in a meaningful way. People do not remember tiny details unless those details matter. People do not revisit the same person repeatedly unless that person has become part of their emotional world. And suddenly your soulmate understood why moving on never felt complete. Because a part of them was never trying to move away from you. A part of them was always moving toward you. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you. The condition I mentioned earlier became clearer during this realization. Your soulmate is ready to choose forever, but they need one thing. They need certainty that fear will not control this connection. Not their fear. Not your fear. They have learned that fear destroys opportunities. Fear creates distance. Fear creates silence. Fear convinces people to walk away from the very thing they have been searching for. And your soulmate is tired of fear winning. They are tired of wondering what could have happened. They are tired of unfinished chapters. They are tired of unanswered questions. They want something real. Something lasting. Something that survives difficult seasons and becomes stronger because of them. The surprising part is that they have already begun changing. They may not say it openly. They may not reveal everything immediately. But inside, a transformation is happening. The walls that once protected them are becoming weaker. The doubts that once controlled them are losing power. The excuses that once delayed them are running out of strength. And every day they move a little closer to the truth. Every day they become a little more ready. Every day the idea of forever feels less frightening and more beautiful. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. There is another revelation you need to hear. Your soulmate recently asked themselves a question that changed everything. The question was simple. If they could see their future 10 years from now, who would they hope was standing beside them? The answer appeared immediately. No hesitation. No confusion. No uncertainty. Just one person. You. That realization hit them harder than they expected. Because for the first time they stopped asking whether they loved you enough. Instead, they started asking whether they were ready to accept how much they already do. And those are two very different questions. One creates doubt. The other reveals truth. Your soulmate is entering a season where truth is becoming impossible to ignore. Their heart is speaking louder than fear. Their hopes are becoming stronger than hesitation. Their vision of the future is becoming clearer than ever before. And while they still have things to understand, one fact continues growing stronger inside them. They do not want a future that leaves you behind. They do not want a story that ends before it truly begins. They do not want another chapter filled with what-ifs. They want answers. They want certainty. They want something real enough to last. And the closer they move toward that realization, the stronger the connection becomes. Stay till the end because the next chapter reveals the unexpected sign that convinced your soulmate that this connection may be far more important than they ever imagined, and once they saw that sign, nothing inside them remained the same. There is a moment your soulmate keeps replaying in their mind, and no matter how many times they try to move past it, the meaning behind it only grows stronger. It was not a dramatic event. It was not something the world would stop and notice. Yet for them, it felt like a message they could not ignore. A sign that arrived at exactly the right time. A realization that changed the direction of their thoughts. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. For a long time your soulmate believed they had more time. More time to think. More time to decide. More time to avoid the questions their heart kept asking. But recently, something shifted. They started understanding that forever is not built in one giant moment. Forever is built through choices. Small choices. Honest choices. Courageous choices. And suddenly they realized that every day they delayed was another day spent standing still while their heart was already moving forward. That realization became impossible to ignore. They began noticing how often your name appeared in their thoughts. How often memories of you surfaced when they least expected them. How often they imagined telling you things they had never said aloud. The deeper they looked, the clearer the truth became. You were no longer just someone important to them. You had become part of the future they secretly wanted. Stay till the end because this is where everything becomes even more surprising. One night, while thinking about the road ahead, your soulmate asked themselves a question they had avoided for a very long time. What if the connection is real? Not partially real. Not temporarily real. Completely real. The answer did not arrive through logic. It arrived through feeling. Through certainty. Through a quiet knowing that settled deep inside them. And once that feeling appeared, they could not push it away. They could not explain it. They could not replace it. They could only acknowledge it. The connection mattered. More than they had admitted. More than they had confessed. More than they had allowed themselves to believe. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you. This is where the condition becomes even clearer. Your soulmate is ready to choose you forever, but they need one thing above all else. They need a future built on truth instead of assumptions. They need honesty instead of guessing. They need a connection strong enough to survive reality. Because they are no longer interested in temporary emotions. They are no longer interested in uncertainty. They are looking for something rare. Something lasting. Something that still feels valuable years from now. And every path they imagine keeps bringing them back to the same destination. You. That realization has become stronger than ever before. They notice it when they wake up. They notice it during quiet moments. They notice it when they think about the years ahead. They notice it when they imagine what happiness truly looks like. Somehow, your presence remains part of the picture. And the more they try to understand why, the more they discover how deeply connected they feel to you. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. There is another truth you need to hear. Your soulmate has been paying attention to things they once overlooked. Not grand gestures. Not dramatic moments. The small things. The things that reveal character. The things that reveal heart. The things that reveal who a person truly is when nobody is watching. And what they have seen has affected them more than you realize. They have seen resilience. They have seen patience. They have seen kindness. They have seen a strength that continues moving forward even when life becomes challenging. Those qualities have left a lasting impression. Because deep inside, your soulmate understands that forever cannot be built on excitement alone. It must be built on trust, respect, loyalty, understanding. And every time they think about those qualities, they find themselves thinking about you again. Don't skip. The biggest revelation is still ahead. Recently, your soulmate experienced something unexpected. They imagined what life would feel like if they never took a chance. If they never listened to their heart. If they never moved toward the future calling them. And for the first time, that possibility felt heavier than their fear. Think about that for a moment. The fear of losing the opportunity became greater than the fear of taking it. That is a powerful turning point. That is the kind of realization that changes decisions. That is the kind of realization that transforms hesitation into action. And once your soulmate reached that point, something inside them began waking up. Hope. Real hope. The kind of hope that refuses to disappear. The kind of hope that keeps imagining better days. The kind of hope that believes something extraordinary is still possible. Stay till the end because the next revelation may be the most important one yet. Your soulmate is beginning to understand that choosing forever is not about finding guarantees. It is about finding someone worth choosing despite uncertainty. Someone worth believing in. Someone worth building with. Someone worth walking beside through every season of life. And the closer they get to that understanding, the more one truth stands above everything else. Their heart keeps choosing you. Again and again. Day after day. Thought after thought. The choice keeps returning. The feeling keeps returning. The vision keeps returning. And it is becoming harder for them to imagine any future that does not include you. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because in the next part, you will discover the powerful event that finally convinced your soulmate that this connection is not something they can leave behind, and what they realized next brought them closer to forever than ever before. What your soulmate discovered next was something they never expected to find, and once they understood it, their entire perspective began to change. For so long they believed that choosing forever would happen because of one perfect moment. One perfect sign. One perfect answer. But life showed them something different. Forever is not created by perfection. Forever is created when two hearts stop running from what they already know. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Recently, your soulmate found themselves reflecting on everything that has happened between you. Not just the big moments. Not just the emotional moments. Every moment. They looked at the entire journey from a different perspective. And suddenly they noticed a pattern. Every path they followed somehow led them back to thoughts of you. Every lesson seemed connected to something they learned through this connection. Every chapter seemed to prepare them for a realization they were only now beginning to understand. The realization was simple but powerful. You were never just another person in their story. You became part of the story itself. That truth hit them harder than they expected. Because once they saw it, they could not unsee it. Once they understood it, they could not forget it. Stay till the end because what happened after that realization changed everything. One quiet day, they imagined themselves years into the future. They imagined success. They imagined happiness. They imagined achieving goals they once thought were impossible. Then they asked themselves a question. Who would they want beside them when those moments arrived? The answer appeared immediately. Not after hours of thinking. Not after endless doubt. Immediately. And that answer surprised them. Because it was you. The image felt natural. It felt right. It felt complete. And for the first time, they stopped questioning why. They simply accepted what their heart had been showing them all along. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you. This is where the condition becomes more important than ever. Your soulmate is ready to choose you forever, but they need one final thing. They need to know that both hearts are moving toward the same future. Not a perfect future. Not a flawless future. A real future. A future built on honesty, trust, patience, and mutual effort. They understand now that forever is not something that happens automatically. Forever is something two people choose again and again. And that understanding has made them take this connection more seriously than ever before. They no longer see it as a passing feeling. They no longer see it as temporary. They no longer see it as something that can simply be ignored. Instead, they see possibility. They see potential. They see a future worth protecting. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. There is another revelation your soulmate experienced recently. They began noticing how different life feels when hope enters the picture. For a long time they focused on uncertainty. They focused on obstacles. They focused on reasons why things might not work. But now something new is happening. They are beginning to focus on reasons why things could work. Reasons why this connection matters. Reasons why this story deserves a chance. Reasons why walking toward the future may be better than standing still. That shift has changed everything. Because once hope becomes stronger than fear, movement begins. Once belief becomes stronger than doubt, decisions begin. Once possibility becomes stronger than hesitation, transformation begins. And your soulmate is entering that transformation now. Don't skip. The biggest part is still ahead. They recently realized something that shocked them. Every time they imagined letting go of this connection, they felt regret. Every time they imagined never finding out where this story could lead, they felt disappointment. Every time they imagined walking away completely, something inside them resisted. Not because they were confused. Because they finally understood how much this connection means. And that understanding is growing stronger every day. Stay till the end because this next revelation may be the most important one yet. Your soulmate is beginning to understand that forever is not waiting somewhere in the distance. Forever begins with a decision. A decision to stop hiding. A decision to stop running. A decision to stop allowing fear to write the story. They are standing closer to that decision than ever before. Closer than they were yesterday. Closer than they were last month. Closer than they have been in a very long time. And the more they move toward that choice, the more one truth becomes impossible to ignore. Their heart keeps returning to you. Not once. Not twice. Again and again. Through every season. Through every question. Through every moment of uncertainty. The feeling remains. The connection remains. The vision remains. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because your soulmate is approaching a turning point. A moment where thoughts become intentions and intentions become actions. A moment where uncertainty begins giving way to clarity. A moment where the condition that once seemed difficult may finally be fulfilled. And in the next part, you will discover the final realization that convinced your soulmate they may already know who they want to choose forever, and what happened next brought them closer to that decision than ever before. A quiet truth has finally reached your soulmate, and what they realized may be the most important discovery of this entire journey. For a long time they searched for certainty in all the wrong places. They searched for guarantees. They searched for perfect timing. They searched for signs that would remove every doubt. But now they understand something that changed everything. The strongest decisions are not born from certainty. They are born from clarity. And clarity has finally begun entering their heart. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Recently, your soulmate found themselves looking back at the road they have traveled. Every challenge. Every lesson. Every unexpected turn. And as they reflected on it all, one realization stood above the rest. Through all the changes, through all the distractions, through all the questions, one connection never completely disappeared from their heart. Yours. They tried to explain it. They tried to understand it. They tried to dismiss it at times. Yet no explanation felt strong enough. Because the truth was simpler than they expected. Some connections leave an impression. Others leave a mark on the soul. And your soulmate is beginning to believe that this connection belongs in the second category. Stay till the end because what happened next brought them closer to forever than ever before. One day they imagined themselves many years from now. Not focusing on achievements. Not focusing on possessions. Not focusing on status. Instead, they focused on the people who would matter most when all those things faded into the background. And when they pictured that future, one image kept appearing. A future where they were not walking alone. A future where they were sharing life with someone they trusted completely. A future where they could be fully themselves without fear. And the surprising part was this. Every time they imagined that future, your presence remained there. The image felt natural. It felt peaceful. It felt right. And for the first time, they stopped resisting that vision. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you. Because this is where the condition finally becomes crystal clear. Your soulmate is ready to choose you forever on one condition. The condition is not perfection. It is not appearance. It is not status. It is not wealth. It is not impossible expectations. The condition is simple yet powerful. They need a connection built on truth. A connection where both hearts are willing to be genuine. A connection where trust grows stronger than fear. A connection where honesty becomes the foundation. Because they have learned that forever cannot survive on illusions. Forever survives on authenticity. And the more they think about that truth, the more they realize that what they are searching for may already be standing closer than they ever imagined. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. There is another revelation that changed them deeply. They recently realized that every meaningful thing in life requires courage. Every dream. Every opportunity. Every lasting relationship. At some point, someone has to stop waiting and start believing. Someone has to stop hiding and start choosing. Someone has to stop imagining the future and begin moving toward it. And your soulmate is reaching that point now. The point where hesitation no longer feels comfortable. The point where standing still feels harder than moving forward. The point where the heart becomes louder than the fear. That shift is transforming everything. Because once a person reaches that moment, they begin seeing possibilities they could never see before. They begin noticing opportunities they once ignored. They begin recognizing what truly matters. And what truly matters keeps leading them back to you. Don't skip. The final revelation is approaching. Your soulmate has started understanding something extraordinary. Love is not about finding someone who makes life perfect. Love is about finding someone who makes the journey meaningful. Someone who inspires growth. Someone who brings peace. Someone who feels like home even when the world feels uncertain. And every time they think about those qualities, your image appears once again. Not because they are forcing it. Not because they are trying to create a fantasy. Because it happens naturally. Because their heart keeps arriving at the same destination. Again and again. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The most surprising part of all is that your soulmate no longer fears the word forever the way they once did. In fact, forever has started sounding beautiful to them. It has started feeling possible. It has started feeling real. Not because they suddenly have all the answers, but because they finally understand what their heart has been trying to show them. Forever is not built in one moment. Forever begins with one choice. One honest choice. One courageous choice. One sincere choice. And your soulmate is closer to making that choice than ever before. They are closer to clarity. Closer to truth. Closer to understanding. Closer to the future they secretly hope for. And as this chapter comes to a close, one truth shines brighter than every doubt they once carried. Their heart continues returning to you. Through every question. Through every season. Through every lesson. The connection remains. The feeling remains. The possibility remains. And somewhere deep inside, they are beginning to realize that the forever they have been searching for may have been connected to you all along.